You're listening to BQN. Assimilate the audio.
Infinite diversity.
Live long and prosper, and welcome to Infinite Diversity, a Star Trek Universe podcast here on the BQN Podcast Collective. I'm your host for today, Chrissy, and joining me is my co-host, Thad. Thad, how are you doing today?
Someone keeps knocking on my door. It's kind of interrupting everything all the time.
Seems like it, yeah. And there's random weird lights around.
Yeah.
Keep showing up.
I've seen way more shooting stars than I normally do.
And they're quite large. That's
Yeah.
like really obviously a celestial phenomena that's not normal. So yeah, anyway. So
how are you, Chrissy?
I'm good. I keep having this debate with myself about whether destiny is a real thing or not, and we'll see.
It's real. I read all 3 books.
That's true. Those are excellent books. It's everyone's destiny should be to read Destiny. So, all right. Well, also joining us today is Caleb Dorsch. Caleb, thanks for being with us here today. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I feel like the three of us really mind melded before the show started, and our phasers are synced and ready to go. So let's
don't
hit
judge me
it.
for that one thing.
Yeah. It's astonishing no one got injured. I'm assuming that's where that was going. We'll talk about that. Anyway, before we jump into our topic for the day, we'd like to take a moment to thank our Patreon patrons who make this show possible, particularly our associate producer, Carl Wonders. Listeners, you can hear your name listed as one of our associate producers for a monthly subscription of just $10, and your subscription of any amount at patreon.com/BQN keeps all of the shows on the network ad-free. Well, we had a little bit of news this week.
They did a little bit for Star Trek Day.
Yeah, not much, but, The first of those is that the Con podcast is out, which I think we knew was going to drop.
Yes,
anyway,
they announced that a few weeks. They announced at SDCC. They announced it would be coming Star Trek Day, and that George Takei and Tim Russ were joining the cast.
Yep.
I listened to the first episode. I enjoyed it. I think it has promise. Once the whole show is out, we'll be doing a podcast episode on our show about it.
Yep. I have not had a chance to listen to the episode yet. Grading. I'll just say that. Caleb, have you had a chance yet to listen?
I have not, but it's definitely on the list. I'm trying to decide if I want to stockpile a couple of episodes and do it in thirds. I think there's 9 episodes or something. Is that right?
I can say, having listened to one episode by itself, I think it would work better listening to multiple episodes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also, they're like an hour long, so
right.
It depends on how much time you have and what you're doing.
I
can't
have a long
sit
commute,
there and listen to a podcast. I have to be doing something else while I'm listening to it.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Same.
So I had a long drive yesterday, which worked out well.
Yeah, I've got a long drive every day, to work and back. So I think that'll be my listening once I have a couple more episodes in the pipeline to queue up. Is it a weekly release schedule or?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay. Weekly.
Cool. 9 episodes total, I think.
Yeah,
is what they said.
That's what I thought I heard too.
So, in addition to Con, we technically have a brand new Star Trek series.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Very cute Star Trek series, very animated Star Trek series. It's Star Trek Scouts. Geared for the 5-year-old.
It's
kinda,
for it's
preschool,
toddler age. So
okay.
probably 3 to 4 year olds is probably the big target audience there.
Okay.
Interestingly, it's not on its own thing. It's on it's being released on the YouTube channel for another Nickelodeon show, which I thought was a choice.
Yeah. Well, maybe it'll have its own YouTube channel once there's more than 2 episodes.
Yeah, and it also may be they're hoping to capitalize on the popularity of Blaze and the Monster Machines, a show I had never heard of until now, but I don't have small children, so.
Yep.
I do have small children, and I haven't heard of it either. But I'm excited for there to be some age-appropriate Star Trek for them. So
Yeah, so
that'd
it's
be
going to
good.
be, short form, 3 to 4 minute episodes. 2 of them are available now on the Blaze and Monster Marine Machines YouTube channel. I have not seen them yet. And we're going to get a total of 20, which will roll out in a period of time into next year. I can say, based on everything I've seen about it, I did watch the trailer, but not the episode. I'm not the target audience.
Exactly.
I think I can safely say that. We will cover it once all 20 episodes are out. We'll do an episode talking about that. Presumably, we'll try to get a guest with who
With
has
the target audience.
Yes. So Caleb, keep your phone handy.
My hailing frequencies open. Yeah.
And that was about it for Star Trek Day. There was a cool little trailer for watching Star Trek on Paramount Plus that included little clips from everything Star Trek except Prodigy, because that's not on Paramount Plus.
They also announced not anything TV wise, but there will be floats for the Rose Parade.
Yep.
Oh, I hadn't heard that. I missed that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's kind of cool.
Says the Rose Bowl Parade in January. The last time they were there was in 2012, and then in 1992.
Yep.
So it looks like they'll be highlighting.
So they're
Starfleet
3
Academy,
years late.
I
Then it
guess.
sounds like.
Yeah.
Good point.
Good point. Yeah.
Oh, the other piece of big news. We have confirmation on the Lego set.
Oh yes, that's right. Okay. We have confirmation. Officially, we have confirmation on a collaboration between Lego and Star Trek. That is
Okay,
technically all we have. So yeah, going back since the end towards the end of last year, there have been rumors that a Star Trek Lego set was coming. Throughout the year, those rumors have become louder and louder with more and more detail. And I will say, as a Lego fan, AFOL, adult fan of Lego as they call them, it's a whole thing.
I feel like they could come up with a better.
I don't
Okay.
choose these things.
No, not you.
I can tell you that leaks of Lego sets are very common. This sort of thing happens all the time. And there's a lot of smoke for that fire. So even before the official teaser on Star Trek Day, it was pretty clear. It has become pretty clear that there is going to be a Enterprise D Lego set that is slated to be released on Black Friday. Officially, all we got was a little teaser video showing Lego Captain Picard, which I hope is not the finalized figure, because Captain Picard is not, in fact, entirely bald. He should have the fringe of hair and should have
True.
rank pips as well. But
I didn't even notice that. Okay. Nice.
well, because they've done Lego figures for bald characters before, and they actually have like a bald cap that goes over the bump on the top of their head, and then we usually so that's what I'm guessing. I'm guessing that is not what the actual Picard in the set is going to look like. I think that was just thrown together for this teaser.
That might be. Yeah.
But yeah, there is an official partnership between Lego and Star Trek. The rumors of the Star Trek Lego set are quite specific, including even pictures. My only real complaint with the picture is that it appears they are doing what a lot of manufacturers do when it comes to the Enterprise D, and they choose one color for the deflector dish instead of doing the rings of blue and red as it should.
Aw.
Which Eagle Moss did the same thing, Hallmark did the same thing, so it's not new that they would do this, but it is annoying. Otherwise, it looks great, and I'm still gonna buy it day one. It's Black Friday. It's rumored to be $400. It's gonna be 3,600 pieces, I believe, and come with minifigures of all of the crew. So 3,600 pieces plus for $400. That's about on par with their licensed sets. Lego. There's been the whole thing about how Lego is so expensive these days, and it is, but price wise, it's not that Lego has gotten more expensive based on like the price per piece. It's more that they just keep making bigger and more intricate sets.
Yeah, and also inflation hasn't kept up, or wages haven't kept up with inflation. So there's that always.
Yes, that too.
Because we don't live in the post-scarcity society that the Enterprise D exemplifies. Anyway.
Yeah, so yeah, it's like I said, it's rumored to be 3,600 pieces. So that's gonna be a very detailed set. It's probably gonna be like it's gonna be quite long, quite big at that point. Actually, 60 centimeters is supposedly the length, which in freedom units is
about 2 feet.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah. Yes, just shy of 2 feet.
Yeah.
And considering when we're talking about the Enterprise D here, which as they said in Picard season 3 is the fat one. 2 feet long means it's going to be very wide too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
So prepare yourself for where you're going to try to display this, because it's going to take up a lot of space.
I know. I already took up the prime location with my DS9 Blue Brick set that you can see in the background up there.
Nice.
I don't know where else I can put it, but I'm definitely going to get it. So
I've got mine right up there.
There you go.
Well, in my case, I think I know exactly where I'm going to put it, because I don't know how well you can see this, but I've got my Blue Bricks Enterprise D there on that.
Okay.
In the upper right. So I'm just gonna disassemble the Blue Bricks Enterprise D and put the Lego one in its place.
Nice.
Didn't put them next to each other for comparison's sake?
No, probably not.
Or you should you should saucer separate the Blue Bricks one and leave it like in a crash land.
Oh, I like this planning. I like this.
And then you can keep the new one. Although I did hear, I think in the rumor, the new one is supposed to saucer separate also. Did I see that?
All Legos can be separated.
Oh, yeah. You know what I mean, though.
I know exactly what you mean, and I did see that rumor. There's a lot of concrete rumors, and then there's a lot of other rumors. The concrete stuff is Black Friday coming with the full crew minifig display in front. 3,600 pieces, $400. Yeah. The other rumors are, yes, saucer separation. Also that if you order it the weekend it comes out. And this is also standard. Usually when you order a set the weekend it comes out, it does come with an additional like bonus set, like little thing. In this case, the rumor is the bonus set is going to be a shuttlecraft and a Ro Laren figure.
Interesting choice. You know what you could do with the Blue Bricks one? I just thought of this. You could put a new name on it.
That
just
too.
Call it the Odyssey or
the Yamato.
The Yamato. You could call it either one of those, and then let Laurel knock it off the shelf and just pick up the pieces. And...
Did you snag the Jemadar Blue Bricks? Because then you could do the Odyssey.
No.
Oh man.
I mostly only bought the big Blue Brick sets, and they didn't do a large Jemadar set.
Fair.
So I'm not a big Lego person. I haven't been a big Lego person, but my nephew is, and his wife, they're huge into Legos. And when I sent them the trailer, he said it looked more like they were going to be doing a Lego Star Trek video game, which I'm totally down for.
I would also be down for. I think that's just because that's what the image looks like. Is obviously a computer generated.
No, I'm not saying they're not doing the set, but
and I think that's certainly a possibility. I would absolutely love that. It'd be very interesting to see what they do story wise for that, because the games, like most of the games, are based on movies. So they just do the story of the movie. So it'd be interesting to see what they. Yeah, they could.
Didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry.
As long as it's not Code of Honor.
But you could build the little set where they're fighting.
That's the most 80s set ever. With all the neon
Just
lights.
the pipes.
Yeah.
Well,
I would absolutely love if they made a Lego Star Trek video game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Did
I
we
would buy
talk
that
about
so
the
fast.
Voyager video game that was announced the other?
I don't think we did.
Okay, there is a Star Trek Voyager video game coming. We don't know lots of details, but it's going to be a strategy game where you get to make the decisions that Voyager makes as it's in the Delta Quadrant. So that could be interesting. That said, it's being published by the same company that made the pretty much universally derided Lord of the Rings Gollum video game from a couple years ago. So that doesn't necessarily mean it won't be good, but, don't be absolutely positive it will be good.
Trek and video games have not always gone well together.
Yeah, there
Lest
have
we
been some
forget-
good ones. I have I think I've talked a couple times on this show. I really enjoyed Star Trek Resurgence, which was the basically a Star Trek visual novel, and it was really good.
And there was a comic that went alongside that too, I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the comic was like the setting up the story of the game.
Well, when I think Trek and video games, I always think of the 25th anniversary NES game. And yeah, that's not great. I know there's a gazillion since then, but that's always the one that pops in my head first.
I think of Starfleet Academy, the movie era Enterprise combat simulator game from the 90s, which I mean, it's a 90s 3D video game, so it hasn't aged well, but it was very good at the time.
Cool.
But yes, there have been a lot of not good ones. And of course, Star Trek Online has been going for for a really long time at this point. Jeez, when did Star Trek Online first come out?
2010.
Yeah, so it's been going for 15 years.
So that's great.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that makes sense. It's been going for that long because they also wrote a Star Trek Online The Needs of the Many novel.
Yes.
And that would have been definitely pre-2017 when Discovery came out, because the whole novel line was kind of doing its own thing. Yeah.
Well, they didn't stop making... They very much slowed down on making novels when Discovery came out.
Yes.
But hopefully now that the Paramount purchase is worked out, they'll get the licensing going.
I should
again.
go back into Star Trek Online.
There's a new novel coming out from David Mack, Rings of Fire. Next couple weeks, I think.
I played. I played it back in 2017. I started I had checked it out when it first came out and didn't really click. But then I jumped into it in 2017 and on PS4, and I ended up playing. I played really far in, got my character ranked all the way up to the highest admiral, and then just sort of set it aside. And I know there have been quite a lot of stories added to it since then, so I should dive back in at some point.
Yeah, I played it a little bit. I'm not huge on those types of games. I know for the this would have been a long time ago at this point, but for they did a big DS9 expansion a few years back where you could play as a Jem'Hadar, which I thought was kind of cool. That is cool.
I haven't done it, but I think the idea is cool.
Yeah. I don't know if we can get Star Trek Animal Crossing, that'd be awesome. Get a Stardew Valley expansion that's Star Trek related.
I have lots of Starfleet uniforms in Animal Crossing.
Yeah, me too. I restarted my island when I got my Switch 2, and I called it Starbase 1, and I'm working on turning it into a nature preserve.
Nice.
But actual, that's never going to happen. Anyway, yeah. Just popped in my head since I brought up the whole purchasing of things. Now that Paramount is settled, they're trying to buy Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Apparently.
That's going to be
you know,
interesting.
for one thing, Warner Brothers has to agree to being sold.
Well, yeah, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, there's a big difference between I would like to buy this and it's going to happen. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
It feels like an antitrust problem to me.
Yes, but then again,
it will be interesting to see because, the CEO of Warner Brothers Discovery also said recently that they're trying to resplit up again anyway. So it's what portion, if any, goes to Skydance?
According to the rumor from Skydance, they wanted the whole thing, including Discovery and Warner Brothers. I mean, if they do end up going through and then we combine into Paramount Max, I won't complain too much if I'm only paying for one streaming service instead of two.
Yeah, there's that. But, then there's everything else too. But I don't know. That happens. I'm looking forward to seeing the Michael Keaton Batman show up on some Star Trek series somewhere. So,
oh yeah, no, there would absolutely have to be a DC Star Trek crossover. The comics did Green Lantern and Star Trek a long time ago, but
and
there was an X-Men.
Well, that's Marvel
novel from.
So that.
I know it.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it's the precedent.
Yeah.
I do know my Marvel from my DC. It's okay.
Yeah. I was going to make a joke about what novel style did Michael Jan Friedman not write? He did just about everything with Star Trek.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say I don't think there's any bodice rippers under his name, but maybe he's got a pseudonym. I don't know.
I mean, he is the one that finally put Picard and Crusher together, even if it wasn't a bodice ripper.
That's true.
But...
Yeah, it was no Imzadi, and I think we're all glad for that. Yeah.
I don't picture Picard being the kind of guy who bangs so hard he leaves a permanent impression in the ground.
Oh, Peter David. Peter David's writing this. Anyway,
I think that's all the news we've got.
Speaking of great Trek couples, this week's episode, Strange New Worlds. There's a transition.
Yeah, I mean, Jim and Spock, everybody. Oh, that's not the one we're talking about?
I mean, it can be.
Oh, all right. So we've got the season 3 finale of Strange New Worlds called New Life and New Civilizations, which I'm super, super glad that we got confirmation on another 2 seasons, because this sure as hell felt like it could have been a series finale.
I think they didn't know that season 4 was coming when they wrote this.
I think you're right. So yeah.
And as a whole, I feel like probably the directive for a lot of these streaming shows is, put a bow on it at the end of every season, because you never know. I mean, that's how a lot of Discovery's final seasons, like season 3, 4, and 5, all could have been, season finales. Not season 2. If you just shot her off into the future and then said bye.
No, that also could have been a finale.
But that would have been a terrible ending.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, but Strange New Worlds was feeling confident with season 2 that they ended it on a cliffhanger.
That's fair. I think they had already been renewed at that point, though.
They had. I think they had been renewed for season 3 before season 2 started filming.
I think so.
Yeah.
So we have this episode. Initial thoughts on this. What are you thinking, Caleb?
Overall, I enjoyed it. I liked the back half, especially the Nexus-y alternate life portion. I liked some of the Jim and Kirk stuff, but I think the Vesda were sold a little short. I think we needed more time with this villain to really give it some weight. But overall, it was good. It was entertaining. I think a lot of the season kind of fell in the same line of It's above average, but nothing really out of the park, with the exception of maybe one or two episodes. So very much kind of in line with the rest of the season.
Okay. Thad?
Yeah, I think Terrarium managed to hit it out of the park. But,
Agreed.
yeah, for overall, yeah, I'd say this season was not as a whole as strong as season 2. But I thought it was a decent season finale. Probably my second favorite season finale because Equality of Mercy was really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I thought it was a decent story, a decent way to wrap up the story with. And I'm glad that they didn't keep it rolling into season 4.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. I mean, I was just like waiting for like what's going to happen to Patel, because she doesn't seem like she's going to be surviving this. It doesn't make sense. But maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I liked it. It felt rushed in places. I think you're right that we needed more about the Vesda and all of that, and maybe, you know, how Vesda Gamble got to where he was. That would be
Mhm.
good to know. Yeah, the magical feeling of people having ultimate destinies, I'm not sure how I feel about that. It's not a very Trek thing
Yeah.
because it takes
Mhm.
away agency, and but at the same time it is a very Trek thing because it feels like the opposite of the discussion that Picard and Q have at the end of season 2 of Picard, where it's like, you know, Picard is expecting that he's needed for something important, and Q's like, no, your existence in itself is important. Where this kind of feels like Batel and everybody on the Enterprise that was just facilitating getting her there, you
Mhm.
know. But I thought it was a good episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we want to address the
Okay.
internet issues now, or wait until we get to that
Okay,
part of the
so
story?
as usual, I'm going to complain about people on the internet. There's a, a segment of the fandom. It feels like had already written this season off before it even started, saying that, you know, the show was not going to be good, that it was going to be problematic, and then their comments throughout the season have just reinforced their belief because they were looking at it, looking for reasons to reinforce their beliefs. Some of the episodes have had issues. We covered that a bit with 2.5 Vulcans, that there definitely were ways that you could read that episode as problematic. This one, I don't. I saw some chatter on the internet about how this episode was leaning into trad wife, white savior archetypes, and so
No.
I know what they're trying to say is using tradwife stuff, because obviously it's the future vision stuff, but I don't get how you can think that it is it is a tradwife fantasy when Batel is addressed as an admiral, so we know that she continued to have her job and excel at it. Pike is shown to be doing all the cooking.
Yes. Even is given an apron.
Right.
By his career-driven wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't see how if you're not looking at it without what's the word I'm looking for? There's a way to say something. You're coming at it with a not an ulterior motive, but there's a bad faith interpretation. That's what I was looking. That's the words I was looking. Unless you're doing it with a bad faith, coming at it from a bad faith view to begin with, I don't see how you can see this as reinforcing tradwife stereotypes. And for those who may not know, tradwife refers to is a thing that has come up in recent years, referring to a movement where it's short for traditional wife. It's for, putting the woman back in the kitchen barefoot without making any decisions for the family.
Yeah. Yeah. And let me just say, from the historian's perspective, not a thing that actually ever existed, except on television in the 50s, but that's fine. Yeah, the trad wife thing is particularly offensive in an era where we can speak to grandparents, grandmothers who were stuck in marriages because they were traditional wives in that way, that they did not have their own income and they did not have their own means to remove themselves from an unhappy or abusive marriage. Let me remind everybody that women could not get credit cards in their own name until 1972. Bank accounts, okay, that kind of thing. So, yeah, this is reflective of an anti-feminist backlash that there is having to be overcompensation for, I think.
Yes. There definitely is an anti-feminist backlash in popular culture, unfortunately. So, but I don't think, again, if you're viewing this objectively, I don't think you can see it here.
No. The thing to remember about feminism is that it is about women being able to make choices. And if that choice is to stay home and be a stay-at-home wife and mother, then, and they can, and that is your choice and you're not being forced to, then cool. If you want to, go be a Starfleet admiral and have a kid and have your husband cook, also cool, but just the act of getting married does not make you a trad wife.
Yeah. Okay. And absolutely, the act of getting married and keeping your job and becoming a position of authority over your husband in said job does not make you a trad wife.
Yeah. And she didn't take his name.
No.
There's a whole conversation about that. There's that conversation includes the concept that he might take hers.
Yeah.
Maybe they're saying that Pike's being the trad wife.
Yeah, and I think part of it comes from because all the scenes are at home with her wearing civilian clothing.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it's coming from. The reason we see Pike in a uniform was because they needed to show him going off to do what we know Pike goes off to do.
And if this continued with her being the head of the JAG office, then that's the kind of job that is the equivalent of a 9-to-5.
Yeah, it's a desk job.
So she could beam home every night.
Yeah.
And change clothes. God forbid. Ugh. Anyway, okay.
Yeah, and I think the very fact that they have her recognized as an admiral twice in the sequence is like they are specifically to show that she is not just giving up her career to stay at home with Pike. And yet somehow there are people vociferously complaining that is what it is showing.
Yeah. Well, once you join Starfleet, you're not allowed to take off the uniform. That's it.
Well, until in the earlier shows that seemed to be the case.
You didn't want to pay for costumes.
Yeah.
Caleb, I hope we haven't been talking over what you've been wanting to say.
No, I mean, I think the whole trad wife conversation is really ridiculous, and I agree with you all. Like, I just don't see it. And also, it's the whole intent of that scene is just so not that. It just doesn't, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's, again, bad faith interpretation, I think, of the whole thing. I'm just not buying it.
Yeah.
Chrissy, you said you had another complaint about internet people to make.
Yeah, before I start going off more about trad wives. This was one I only saw a few people making it, but just in case because I try not to be on the internet as much as I used to be, so
Healthy.
I feel like I try. Um, I feel like if I saw it, there were probably a lot more people saying it. The idea that that Patel got fridged, which is
Oh,
an intentional misunderstanding of what being fridged means. Fridged is not just a woman gets killed. It is specifically a woman who has very little backstory, if any, gets killed to serve as motivation for a man in the rest of the story. Okay. We know Patel. We've seen her for 3 seasons. The series starts with her. So she's not fridged.
Yeah.
No. Does it suck that she's not around anymore? Yes, I really like that story. Did we know that kind of had to happen anyway? Yes, because we've all seen the menagerie. So somewhere along the line, they at least had to break up.
She's also not dead. She's
True.
just immortalized as a what did they call? I forgot the name that they called her. Beholder. There we go.
Beholder, yeah.
Yeah.
Like she's a mystical statue now, which I'm sure if they really wanted to push it, could bring her back anytime and deal with the Vesda some more. Like, I don't know, if you want to do Star Trek Vanguard, the Vesda would be a very good Shaddai analog, right?
Yes.
Like,
that's the whole vibe I was getting this entire time, which is where I was a little disappointed, at least with that piece, because I wanted more of the Vesda, and that's where I thought they were going, and then there was just like zip them back up. Okay, but
what just occurred to me when you said you could bring her back anytime, they could bring the Vesda back for Academy.
They could.
Mm-hmm.
She could be a statue for 1,000 some odd years.
Yeah. The whole thing, the whole room exists outside of time. You could do anything now with the Vesda if you wanted to bring them in as a threat. That's actually a really good theory, that the Vesda could potentially be part of Academy. I would love that.
That would be cool. But yeah, so that's our internet complaints for the week.
Yeah, and now that we're done with that, let's talk about the episode.
Yeah. So we start with Patel getting back from meetings as becoming, the head of the JAG office. And all she wants to do is hole up in her quarters, which means, of course, that Pike has thrown her a going away party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll note she changes into a civilian outfit for the going away party.
Yes, she does.
In fact, everyone does except Scotty.
Except for Scotty. I was going to say, I do love that running gag happened. And
yes, just like Uhura did in season 1.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was a good little end of season moment. I feel like this crew has had a lot happen over the course of this season, and for them to all come back together and just have a dinner, it felt good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other big thing that comes out of that dinner is that apparently Pelia spent some time with a time-traveling doctor.
Yep.
Which I missed on the first watch of this.
So that's the second Doctor Who reference of the season.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what was the first one?
It was the TARDIS on the Enterprise in
right, okay.
Sail How to Edith Tale.
Sorry, yes.
Well, it's at least the second Doctor Who reference of the season. Yeah. It's possible we missed an earlier one.
Yeah. I don't know. My headcanon, if that's the case, just judging on hair alone, I think she's River Song. So we'll just go with that.
I mean, she could be Mel.
Yeah.
Similar hair back in the 80s.
No, I'm just being
yeah.
ridiculous. But yeah, no, I like this.
Oh no, it's just setting up Carol Kane as the companion in the next season of Doctor Who is what it's going to be.
Oh my God, please. Please. And then her as the next Doctor after that. Just,
I would also be okay with that, yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would, if I'm being perfectly honest. Oh no, you're still not caught up on Doctor Who, are you?
I am not caught up, but go ahead, because by the time I get a chance to see it, I will have forgotten any spoilers.
I mean, you've probably seen news articles about this anyway. If I'm perfectly honest, I'd rather have Carol Kane as the next Doctor than Billie Piper.
I didn't see that she was going to be the next Doctor. Okay.
Yes.
How are they going to do? All right, we won't get into
No
that.
idea. No one knows is the answer to that.
But that means we might see more David Tennant, which makes me happy.
Yes.
Yeah. God, how great would Carol Kane and David Tennant be as a duo?
That would be amazing.
With either as the Doctor and just the personality. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, so we have to leave that behind because that's just a one-off little comment, and there's the rest of the episode to talk about. Anyway.
Just like we'll save our Tradwife conversation for when we inevitably do a Little House on the Prairie podcast.
That new series.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be on Netflix. I don't know if it's actually going to happen, but I don't know if they've started filming yet. So Chapel has to excuse herself from the party so she can go talk to Corby, who is going to a planet named Skygowan. Skygowan,
I believe is how they usually pronounce it.
Okay, to study the... Well, it's spelled Skygowan. I don't know, Skygowan.
Yes,
sounds
they
like
are
Skagaran.
Currently filming the Little House on the Prairie series, by the way.
They are. Excellent. Well, okay, listeners, looking forward to a podcast with us and Abby on that, for sure. So Corby is going to that planet to study Vesda adjacent stuff, and then finds out that Gamble has rebuilt himself via the transporter pattern. I mean, Corby doesn't know that, but we find that out.
We find out that, yes, Gamble is apparently leading the religious order here. So when we talked about how things were rushed, the fact that Gamble was just suddenly alive is the big part of how things were rushed. I feel like we should have had more of that.
Mm-hmm.
Or just more of him, period. Like, even the parts we get of him later on the episode, they shove him into that weird brick door closet for a minute, and then he's out, and then that's it. It's like there really needed to be a lot more of the Vesda and Gamble in this story, and I feel like they centered... I think they did more centering of the Kirk and Spock, B story than they did the actual villain. It was Patel and Pike at the top, and then you had Kirk and Spock, and then Vesda was kind of in the background. But I do like the costuming, though. I thought all the costuming on the planet was really cool, and Gamble's costume was really cool. And I mean, it's pretty visceral too. Like, I don't know if it happens here a little bit later on, but when Gamble starts speaking Latin again, and then they all stab themselves in the eyes. I was like, "Oh, this is
that was that was rough."
I do love how every random religion speaks something akin to Latin. Of course, then Corby is unable to continue communicating, which tells Chapel there's something wrong. So Pike...
But he did send his emergency signal before he was.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So Enterprise is going to go rescue him. Pike sends La'an, Una, Chapel, Uhura, and Mbenga down, dressed as locals. Chapel apparently needs to color her hair red for some reason, but that's cool.
He also calls Kirk and asks for help.
Yep.
Which is
weird. You would just ask the captain of the ship.
Right?
I think they didn't want to pay for the actor.
Yeah, I think is exactly what happened. Either they didn't want to pay for the actor, or she wasn't available. But it's weird that he would call the first officer of another ship to ask for assistance. Even the fact that he knows them, especially when Kirk specifically says the captain feels that she's in your debt, so we're coming. Like, it's weird.
Yeah.
Especially because we already had a Kirk scene ahead, so it wasn't like the excuse to get Kirk in a scene, because he's still going to do the mind meld with Spock.
They could have... We already had established that she'd been injured. she could have just still been injured and he was still in command.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't need to, but whatever. Right, and so then we have this scene where Patel's punching the punching bag, because that has become a thing on Strange New Worlds. So we go to the gym, and so she's talking about how she's tagging along because she feels this need to stop the entity. She feels like she's got a rope around her waist pulling her towards something. Yeah.
So I didn't notice this before, but that punching bag is in fact floating in midair.
Cool.
I mean, it makes sense that they could do that in the 23rd century, but like,
Yeah.
I assume I just saw a punching bag. And, I assume it's hanging from the ceiling, but no, it's not. There's nothing attaching it to the ceiling.
What an interesting note to add. That they just like went in and digitally got rid of the
No,
rope that was hanging
Chrissy,
it up.
they invented anti-gravity for this episode.
Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry. There was that huge article. It was all over the news. Yeah. It's probably.
I mean,
just
I
holographic,
imagine
actually.
I imagine it wouldn't have taken much effort to digitally remove that.
No, not at all. But the fact that somebody thought of it,
Yes.
and it's like just little things that help keep the scene, I guess, keep it going within context. So Spock and Scotty and Pelia and Sam are trying to figure out how Gamble Vesda traveled to Skagawan, which apparently he does through galactic ley lines.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so they a couple times mentioned that like this technology basically looks like magic because it's so advanced, and that's as much as I'm leaning on that, because this is very close to like actual magic, and I'm not as huge a fan of actual magic in Star Trek.
Yeah.
You could just
Except
chalk it
that
up to
one
being...
episode of TAS where the devil teaches Spock how to use magic. I like that.
No. I was gonna say you could kind of use the same comparison to like the Iconian gateways.
Yes.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some science there. They just chose not to do it this episode.
Right.
Yeah. I wish like one of them had said like maybe it's a wormhole, so that it would have had a little bit, but that's okay. I guess, the most famous Star Trek wormhole was all about.
Or maybe it's how, the travelers travel, or,
Yeah.
time to go back and rewatch The Devourer of all things.
I just, but I did like how Sam's anthropology knowledge is being used throughout this. I really did appreciate that. We don't get to see Sam doing his job much. So that's good. Yeah. So they have these galactic ley lines. The landing party away mission goes up to the top of the pyramid thing, and Gamble Vesda is down at the bottom, getting everybody to blind themselves so that his people that are trapped in the little orbs in that prison are able to come over there and inhabit those bodies, I guess. Why they have to be blinded to do that, I don't know. But
yeah, again, more opportunities where they could have fleshed out the Vesda, and it just is like, no, this is just a thing.
Yeah.
Like, do the Vesda have other senses that they use in order to move around and see? Like, because Gamble's eyes are still very much not in his head.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, they have to.
Basically a plot point.
Yeah.
They're burned out here.
I mean, I almost wanted that to be something that Gamble did, like, just like, we're gonna all rip out our eyes because this is what happened to me, but that wouldn't have really worked. But so they think that there's more.
I was gonna say, like, maybe it's that, without their eyes, they are more susceptible to being taken over.
Ooh.
Because I don't know, like the Vesda aren't really like spirits you could see, I don't think, unless you were in that, little chamber. Can you see the Vesda in the real world, or are they limited to interdimensional space? Maybe that's the reason, but again, they didn't explain any of that, so I don't know. But that's kind of like a working theory I had. Like maybe that's what it is. It's remove the eyes, and now you can take them over.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I like it. So they think that there's more of those orbs in that stelae, that we saw behind Gamble and that Corby is looking at. And of course, this is covered in all sorts of languages, and it has this whole overarching theme of good versus evil, where we start getting into the idea of the concept of good and evil predating humanoid existence, for lack of a better way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah.
How long have the pod race and the wormhole aliens been around?
Well, it's not linear, so they've been
Right.
around forever and also never.
Right.
Yeah, there you go. I think this yeah.
I definitely at first was like, oh, if that's what they're going with, fine. I just wish it had been more cohesive throughout this season, that was the big theme. Like it didn't really land very well. Because I agree with you. It's like, well, what are we really trying to say about good versus evil here? And I mean, the only other time we really assess that is the episode before in Terrarium, where we look at the Gorn in a new light, which also is something we do again in Arena. But the rest of the season, we didn't really go that route,
Right.
It connects here because it makes the Gorn part of that which has good in it.
Mm-hmm.
As that part of Batel, but yeah, I don't know about this. I feel like it's. I guess we're back to the magic and mythology thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The external existence of good and evil maybe just is ringing too many bells of having been raised Catholic for me to be comfortable with on Trek. I don't know. So we have this thing with all of the text on it. One of the phrases in Swahili, which is apparently also Mbenga's first language. We learned that. We knew that was Uhura's first language before. And it's Mbenga thinks it's about him. A young boy was not yet a man, but his time had come to kill or be killed. A knife in his hands.
And then Mbenga says it's
vague.
Yeah, but then he follows up and he says it's the first time he took a life.
Okay. But still, I feel like that could be descriptive of many, many people.
And like, what are they trying to say about Mbenga in that moment? Like, are you trying to say he's good or evil? Good because he defended himself? Evil because he took a life so young? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like they wrote that in just to give Mbenga something to do, but it didn't tie well enough into the earlier season shuttle to Kenfori, reckoning.
Right.
For me to really understand why Mbenga is needed here. And then it's like, he pushes him through, and then they chat for a minute, and then he just pushes Gamble into the chamber closet, so to speak, for a minute. And then that's it. Mbenga's just not there the rest of the time.
He gets the one line when Pike and Batel show up.
Yeah.
And
that's it. And
well,
so
I see connecting him with Gamble because he feels responsible for Gamble,
right?
Having that. But you don't have to. You don't have to have him look at a verse on a wall and say, "Oh, that's obviously about me."
Right.
And
It's very baity. It almost feels like Gamble was just trying to bait him, and that was the only purpose it served.
Maybe that's an idea. I hadn't thought of that.
But
I
why?
also don't.
Again, why try to bait Mabenga? Like,
Well, he needs somebody else to go through with him.
yeah.
But
That's
why
true.
it has to be a Benga, I don't. But I also didn't like that nobody among the crew looked at him and went, "That doesn't have to be about you."
Yeah.
Number one is immediately like, "How is your story on this thing?" And I just,
You're so vain. I bet you think this ancient writing's about you, don't you?
there you go. There you go. And establishing that the first time he killed somebody was when he was 12, both completely doesn't surprise me, and also I don't like it.
Yeah.
Right.
Same.
I mean, fine, it was in self-defense. They give no other context here. He just says he was attacked, by whom, under what circumstances, all of that. So I would, maybe we'll get to know more about that as the series goes on, but I don't care for that. But it does help to understand or explain why he maybe is a bit more inured to killing than some of the rest of us when you start that early. I did appreciate that he worked out that if he wasn't there, that could prevent all the Vesda from coming out, and was willing to sacrifice himself for that. I do appreciate that. And also in a very, I don't know, visceral way, going to try to cut his own throat.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So Chapel, so they go back to Enterprise without Mbenga, of course. And then as we're seeing Mbenga and Gamble talk, Gamble starts attacking the statue, which is causing Batel pain. And then she gets the glowy eyes because it's Star Trek, and glowy eyes means you've been taken over by something.
Yeah. Once I saw that, I was like, "Oh, is this where No Man has gone before?" Again?
I know,
Yeah.
right?
It's like Gary Mitchell.
Yeah, and it
That's
turns
why
out
was
that
fun.
Patel is the beholder, apparently.
Yeah. Which I guess
Yeah.
makes sense as to why there's a connection there. But
It explains her reaction to Gamble in
earlier,
Through the Lens
yeah.
of Time, and it was just, I guess, because she happened to be there and had the Chimera DNA that it was able to do that.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how again, it's to invoke the Doctor. It's wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, and we just go with it, So this is when we have the discussion about the Vesda being the evil that predates everything, and that she's taken on the genetic memory of everything that is the good that fights against that evil. Okay. So Batel and Pike are going to go through the portal. Of course, he's not going to let her go alone. That's fine. I wouldn't expect him to. And then they figure out that they don't have enough power in themselves to travel through the portal. They figure out that they need power equivalent to a star, to what a star
Conveniently,
produces.
a starship's phasers produce half that much power, apparently. Which
I have
convenient.
questions about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why doesn't everyone just combust like upon phaser fire? The polarization on that hull plating is astounding.
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of Enterprise lately, so polarize the hull plating is my new favorite catchphrase.
Yeah.
It's the go-to fix-all.
Yeah.
Did you polarize your hull plating? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Scotty and Pelia work it out that you need 2 starships worth of phaser fire but everything has to be done manually because you'd have to overcome the safeguards, and it has to be done with perfect timing because, of course, there's, eddies and currents and everything else in space that means that things aren't actually sitting still, they're actually moving.
And if they're not done in tandem, they'll just blow up everything on the planet.
Yeah. So the parent solution to that is Spock and Kirk mind melding so that they can do things exactly the same at the exact same time.
I guess. Because Spock has determined that Kirk appears to be willing to try new things.
Yeah. Okay. The first problem I have with this. The captain of that other ship is a Vulcan.
Yes!
Good point. I had
not even thought of that.
Maybe that's why she wouldn't be interested. Maybe she feels, maybe she's more conservative about mind melds,
Yeah.
It isn't
especially
that
with a half
mind melds.
Vulcan,
Yeah.
which has been
Yeah.
clearly beat to death this season.
Yeah. So, okay, but it seems like it would be easier to make that connection. Maybe she's a really bad pilot. I don't know. Yeah, so actually that's I say the first problem I have with it. That's the main problem I have with it. So we get this awesome scene of them working in tandem. That Pelly is really excited about.
Yes.
And I do appreciate
it is a cool scene.
Yeah. It is. It's awesome. It's not diminishing it in the slightest. I don't know that they could have done this with, they could have done it with models in the 90s, but it would have been a lot more difficult.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's awesome that they could do that. Yeah.
Yeah, the closest that I can think of that we've done this before on Star Trek would have been on Enterprise, which was also CG and not models, when they had the ships link up very similarly so that Trip could go from one ship to the other.
Yeah.
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 Which is still one of the coolest sequences, I think, of all time.
Because that's safer than a transporter.
It's got to merge those warp bubbles,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was a reason why they couldn't do the transporter. I don't remember what it was.
I don't think they were using transporters for humans yet.
Yeah, they were.
No, they were.
They were using them for
They'd done
humans
it.
in emergency situations.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was probably the warpness then.
Yeah.
Because you needed to wait until Brian figured that one out.
Or Scotty in the Kelvin timeline.
Or Scott, yeah, that's true. That's in the Kelvin timeline, so. Anyway, you mentioned about them not being able to get that actress. She is in the background in that scene, but I guess they could have, behind Kirk, but they could have filmed that moment while she was still there, you know.
Or superimposed.
For the other.
They could have used an image from the Sailor Who Ate Its Tail, but even then they would still have to pay the actress.
Yeah, but she wouldn't have to be available.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think it must have been more an availability reason than because they would still have to pay her for appearing.
Yeah. I think it was just story. I bet nobody thought of the fact that he was talking to the first officer as opposed to the captain.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but
Yet another instance of Pike and Kirk having chats well beyond the, oh yeah, I was there for that promotion one time. But I'll leave that alone.
We're gonna forget that.
Yeah,
He
and they worked so hard to actually make that event happen, and then they've just had so many more since then.
Well, but the line from the episode is, I met him once. Well, he was the fleet commander, right?
Once when he was promoted to fleet captain.
Right, or fleet, yeah. So, I mean, I met him once.
In person, I guess.
That you have not met him again.
I mean, it kind of does. I wouldn't say that I've met Caleb once.
Yeah.
I mean, I could technically say that about you, Chrissy, because we only met in person once.
That
I
is
still
true.
wouldn't say that. But, like, if I have met someone, if I have done things with someone more than one time, I would not say I met them once.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And they have
Anyway.
spoken in person a couple times. And you know what? We just need to let that one go.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which I was prepared to do, but I had to beat it to death. Right.
Well, we
so
could
then
just
we have...
take former host of the show, Brandon Shea Mutala's opinion and say that Strange New Worlds is in an alternate timeline.
No.
But
No.
I don't actually agree with that.
Right. So Battelle and Pike are now on Vadian 9, and we're going to have the knockdown drag-out fight. Pike tries to help, but of course, Gamble just kind of like, shoots figurative light at him and knocks him down, and she has to remind him that he actually can't help.
I think it would
Which I kind of
probably be more appropriate to call it figurative dark.
You're right.
Here's my evil smoke.
You're right. And then all of a sudden we cut to this Nexus / Inner Light / Dream.
But first, she starts a Time Lord regeneration.
Oh, that's true. Yes,
Or-
I have. What did I write on here? Where you go? He fights her by attacking the statue, and she fights him with glowy hands. There
Yeah.
you go. Yes. Well, that explains it then. She's a Time Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Bring it all around. Yeah.
I was really confused when it cut immediately to them in the cabin. I was like,
Yes.
did I miss
Me too.
something? It took me a minute.
Me too. I thought there was it had glitched in the in the streaming or something, but
Very hard cut. A very interesting editing choice. It probably would have tried to convey that a little bit differently.
I think they wanted people to be confused
Yeah,
at
probably.
first. Because you are looking at that and going, wait a second. And then are you thinking, is this actually a cut ahead? Did they actually survive it? And now we're going to find out how, but it's going to be later.
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't know. It was nicely done.
Mhm.
So we jump ahead. They've got, they're married. He's cooking breakfast. I think the same thing he was cooking in the pilot for her. The eggs and bacon. Although I don't entirely remember. And then it jumps ahead to them having a daughter, who we later find out is named Juliet.
And a dog. They also
And
had
a dog. Yes, the dog's important.
Yep.
There's a dog at the end, too, when she's dying, which I didn't notice the first time I watched it. Because the dog's the same color as the blankets.
Oh, I did not notice that, and I watched it twice.
I saw it the second time, but not the first.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So they go through this whole thing. There is a knock at the door constantly for various things, calling Pike to his destiny, as it were.
I did like that. I thought that was a good choice for this scene. The looming knock.
Yeah. That did it very well. And then he avoids the accident.
Somehow, he doesn't
At
know
which
how.
point, I was like, "This is definitely an alternate timeline, not as in the series as an alternate timeline, but
Yeah,
what
and
will
this
happen in
is
that moment."
so they can experience their life together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's as much for Pike as it is for Battelle, really.
Yes. And I was left wondering the first time I watched it. I thought it was his dream, and then when she talks about how that gave her the power to defeat him, I realized it's like their mutual dream.
Yeah.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I liked showing the time jump that you jump from the puppy to the full-grown dog.
Yes.
That was a
And
nice
the
little
kid
touch.
chasing. Yeah,
Mhm.
that was nicely done. And I like how they aged them. I think they did a nice job with that. It didn't look too off kilter. Yeah. And again, the only time we see him in uniform is when he's come back from his when he's going to
when
and
he's
coming back
leaving
from-
and when he comes back. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's
rest
why
of
he's in that
Nelson's.
uniform, is because we had to show that to be a part of this thing and explain why he was there at the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it does not in any way mean that she has given up her career for him.
Well, but also going back to the trad wife thing, what it does is by doing it this way and foregoing Pike's accident, I am entirely convinced this is Marie's way of envisioning things. She chose to extend Pike's life together. Like, so like in what way is that?
And that's why, and you can tell because it ends when she dies, not when he dies.
This is what she wants. Right. She wants to have a full life with him, knowing that neither of them can have that. And like in that moment, the reason she's doing this is because she knows she's not coming out of this, It's like it's like I know it's like an alternate timeline, but it has a purpose.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just don't buy the trad wife thing, especially with that. Like, why would you make that choice? Like, you could make the choice to let Pike's accident still happen and then show what life would be, but like post accident. But that's not the ending either of them really wants.
No.
So why would you do that? Like, I don't know. I think it's intended to put both of them at peace. Although I have seen some arguments that it was solely intended for Pike to be at peace. And I'm like, I don't know if that's true.
No.
I think it's both of them. Like,
I think both of them, yeah.
Yeah. I do like how when they jump to the next part, his hair's longer and not poofy anymore. I mean, it's a little poofy, but it's just, I don't know. Yeah. And also, did you notice he's not drinking? She's got a glass of wine and he's got water, and then she tells him to put champagne on, but get a cider for himself.
Yeah, he laughs about it.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure if I missed something there from earlier, because the episode ends with him drinking, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. And it could be that he doesn't like champagne and she means like hard cider too, but...
Oh, that's a point.
Yeah.
That's a point.
But it probably doesn't. Actually, no. I say that, but that's probably not true, because sparkling cider is the usual non-alcoholic equivalent for champagne.
That's true.
So, no, I don't know. I feel like we are missing something with that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an odd thing to throw in there without having a reference.
Was there there might have been something in 4.5 Falcons when they were doing the dinner with her boss.
Okay.
I remember something being discussed there about like drink preferences. Maybe it was referring to that, but I only watched that episode once, so I don't know.
All right. Well, I'm glad I'm not alone in wondering what's going on with that.
Yeah, I wonder. Now I'll have to go back and check that, because it is interesting.
Yeah, it's just and
and Alex doesn't call it out in his review, so I don't know.
Ooh, okay. I thought it was cute that their daughter is getting engaged to Bob April's son.
I thought it was cute that he wore his dress uniform to meet them, even though he had already met them many times before.
Yet another indicator that he still feels like she's got authority over him.
Because the only other time we saw that uniform was when Uhura wore her dress uniform to that thing in season 1, because it's the cadet dress uniform.
And notice he's not treating Pike that way.
No, he's talking to Admiral Battelle.
More evidence that he's the one who retired and has become the untrad husband.
Well, I don't know. He's doing he's the trad wife. I mean,
right. That's what I was saying. Not untrad. I couldn't come up with a better way to say it, but, that's just that's a sweet little bit that I think otherwise people would be complaining about. I feel
like he probably retired after the incident didn't happen, so he didn't mess up the timeline even more.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. Yeah. So yeah, I think if this hadn't been a dream, people would be complaining about that being small world syndrome, but we'll not worry about that. Anyway, so we cut from that scene to very old Pike and Battelle, and she's in bed dying. I particularly like that even though we know they are in a technologically advanced era, there's still a box of Kleenex.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah,
That's
I
funny.
just
Well, I mean,
saw it.
what else would you use? I mean,
I know, but like all the technological advances, and you have that basic thing. It's just great. I love it.
microtransporter that beams the mucus out of you. I mean, it's not the worst
That would
idea
be
for it, actually.
fantastic. I mean, speaking as someone with allergies, oh my god, that would be wonderful.
You know, instead of a sinus rinse, it's like a sonic sinus rinse or something.
Yes. One that doesn't make you feel like you're waterboarding yourself. God.
Yeah.
And one
Hate
that doesn't
money
carry the risk of giving yourself a brain-eating amoeba.
Yeah. Anyway, right, little things. And they have continued to have a dog because there's the dog right there on the bed.
It's a different dog because this is many years later.
I said a dog, not the same dog.
Yeah, I was just commenting.
Very much a different dog.
Yes.
Yes. And I don't know if it's intentional, but I feel like she looks very much like Picard's wife, Catan wife, looked at the end of her life. The hair is almost
I
the
think
same.
that's just what artificially aged white women look like.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, and so then she's dying, and he's hearing the knock at the door, and there's the shooting star again. And then
And
we're
it's
back
Campbell.
on... Yeah, we're back on Vadia 9, which I wrote Vesda 9 in the notes, but that's okay. And Battelle takes on all of that power from the love that she experienced in this alternate timeline, I guess, and defeats him.
And then turns into the statue.
I do like that the way Anson Mount played his reaction at the end there very much had like a, well, that's it then, you know, shock to it. Like,
I kind of wish the statue had looked like Battelle.
Yeah, well, the question is that statue out of time? Because if she is always the statue and it had looked like her in the first place, it would have been obvious.
Okay. Yeah, fair.
But if we're assuming that space and that statue is, you know, like the prophets, as it were, where it doesn't have a you know, it's not linear. I like that it's kind of abstract too. It's just the indicator of good. I also like that good is female, ostensibly, anyway. Again, going back to having been raised Catholic, it's nice to see the opposite of the Adam and Eve story, I guess. I don't know.
And Corby is gonna go do more research.
Yeah, so then we cut to afterward. Corby's gonna go research. He gives Chapel a little painted square. What the hell do they call them? I wrote data card on there, but I can't remember what they call them in the original series. The little painted squares of wood. Anyway.
I mean, they pretty much are just data. I think they may even call them data tapes.
Tapes, yeah. Okay. Anyway, he gives her a bunch of star maps and information that comes from this.
I think it would have been cool if he said, and the next place I'm gonna go check out XO3. I think that would have been fun. Just a little nod to, because I think we've discussed the timeline and the fact that he had been missing for 5 years, and this is 5 years before that episode. We probably are not seeing Corby again.
Yeah. Yeah, we have discussed that. I don't know. We'll see. I feel like they might fudge the timeline on that a bit. Or we might see him. Go ahead.
I had the same thought also just with the casting of Martin Quinn, who I love so far as Scotty, but he definitely is not 5 years younger than Doohan was when he started the show. So, you know.
Martin Quinn is 10 years younger than Paul Wesley, whereas James Doohan was 10 years older than William Shatner. So it's really wobbly timey-wimey.
There's a stark contrast there. I do love Martin Quinn though, and
I really like him as Scotty.
Oh, he's fantastic. Yeah.
Although I'm still the person that I saw post said, at what point does Scotty stop being this friendly, innocent guy and turn into a misogynist workaholic alcoholic?
Well, that's the thing, is that's probably what aged him, is now that he's discovered alcohol, he hits it really hard for 5 years.
Yeah.
Poor Scotty.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta smile and nod, I guess.
It's the embarrassment from having shown up to the dinner in his formal dress.
Yeah. By the end of that dinner, he is drunk and he stays that way for the next decade.
5 years. Oh, Scotty.
Yeah. And then we see a 3D chess match between Kirk and Spock, the first of many.
Yep. That's good.
Yeah.
Although I definitely got vibes that Kirk wanted to be a third on the dance party at the end there. It's like, oh, mine.
Yeah. Yeah. That
gotta love a little spurt content, you know.
And if that has anything to do with what happened on the moon of Orion. So, I like this. It's further establishing, their the beginnings of their friendship. I also did notice that the bartender in the background is wearing the outfit that the bartender was in.
In Wedding Bell Blues.
Wedding Bell Blues, yeah. So I guess that's the standard bartender uniform.
Yeah, I guess so.
And then Shalane is secretly back.
Yeah, maybe. And then we have Sam sit down with him, and we see yet more reason to be really, really sad that Sam dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we retcon that?
Yeah, I would love to retcon that.
Yeah.
Just Operation Annihilate this episode from the timeline.
Yeah, why not? And then Pike and Una are having a drink.
Well, no, Sam just thought it was really cool that Vulcans have third eyelids, so he underwent a surgery to have the same thing.
Right. But then his wife still died, so that's...
Oh, yeah, there was that.
I was really hoping that when he went and looked at the apron, it was going to have the Chef Pike on it.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like if she's outside of time now, but, that's just me. The song they had over this is pretty haunting. I'd never heard this song before.
That was a good choice, I think.
Yeah,
I really liked the song. It's by M83, I think, right?
Well, Wait by M83.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, and then we have Pelly and Scotty like randomly looking at a thing, and Chaplin and Benga working in sick bay.
And hugging each other, probably because they both need one.
Yeah.
So, just a fun fact about that song. It was also previously featured. I'm doing the Vampire Diaries watch through right now, which was Paul Wesley's main show before he was Kirk. That song was also used at one point according to what I just saw in that. So I'm like wondering if that's an intentional thing, unintentional thing, or just a coincidence. Probably just a coincidence.
How is the Vampire Diaries?
Vampire Diaries is such a good show. I just finished
Okay.
season 2, and I'm on season 3. But it's phenomenal, and Paul Wesley's really good in it. So, yeah.
Cool. I was just looking up the song because it feels very late 90s, early 2000s alt rock, but it is released in 2012.
Yeah.
So, which is not too far off. Right, yeah. So back to what just Pelly and Scotty are looking at something. Okay, so then Pike comes on the bridge, and we're gonna continue our exploration of the stars. There's enough in that data tape. That's what they were called, data tapes.
Yes.
Amazing how that happens when you're not thinking about what it is you're trying to say. There's enough in the data tape for another 5-year mission, and we've got the core slate in. Ortegas is ready to go, and
don't they have to get approval from Starfleet for this sort of thing? Certainly for a 5-year mission.
Right.
Well, I don't get the impression they're going on a 5-year mission.
Not,
I'm saying
no.
But I feel like they need to check in with Starfleet Command before they go visit planets, though, right?
No, it's the Enterprise. They do what they want.
Oh, fair.
Well,
but this does feel like
Una hadn't
done
that. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
This does feel like a finale. This last
It does.
scene, this does put a nice this could be the end.
Yeah.
This is...
And I think that was like we said, I think they were not positive they would get a 4th season when they wrote this episode.
Yeah. This is the same feel as the end of Undiscovered Country. It's the same feel as the end of All Good Things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not the very, very end of All Good Things with the poker game, but prior to that.
Yeah.
The captain in the chair. We're continuing our voyages.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I'm glad it's not the finale, because...
No, we still have 16 more episodes.
In one of which they're going to be Muppets.
Yes. At least one. We technically don't know if there's not more than
That's
one.
True. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if I can handle that for more than one.
I think it's going to be just one.
Yeah, and probably
and
a chunk of...
We presumably only have a year to wait until the next season, as opposed to this one, where we waited 2 years.
Yeah, and lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah, I just saw somebody posted on Blue Sky that they just finished filming.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. So maybe not even a year. That would be cool.
I think it'll still be a year.
I think they're already filming. I think they finished filming 4 a few weeks ago, and I think they just started filming 5.
I believe so, yes.
Is what I thought I saw. Yeah.
No, I think it'll still be a year, because we also have Academy Season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean...
I'm guessing we probably will get Strange New Worlds next summer.
Yeah. That would be consistent with when they've been releasing them, but I can dream.
Maybe they'll announce a new show at New York Comic Con.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It seems like they're teasing some big reveals there.
What have I missed?
Nothing
Other than
yet.
everything.
Nothing yet. No.
Oh, you said the teasing. I haven't seen any teasing.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
there's an article, I guess, about when they first said they were doing a panel at Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con, that there was going to be some significant stuff.
Yeah, and I feel like they've already shown us as much of Academy as they'd want to before the the series starts at SDCC this year.
Yeah. Did they said Academy's 26, right? Or
yes.
did they?
Yeah.
They did say 26, I believe.
Yeah, they'll probably give us a release date.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Maybe another trailer.
I don't think we'd have another trailer so soon.
It'd be closer to.
It's next
When
month.
is New York Comic Con?
It's October.
Yeah, it's about a month from now.
Okay. That's why I said it's too early for them to show the pilot.
Yeah.
Or the first episode. It's not a pilot, but well, we'll see.
Well, they'll give us a lot of details about what's coming in Star Trek Scouts.
Yeah. Apparently, one of the characters on Scouts is JR, and there's been people going around saying it's Jack Ransom, which makes
I
me
would love
laugh.
that. I would.
I
love
need there to be
that.
an episode where he gets shot and they need to figure out who did it.
Yeah. God.
Which is a joke that
Not
will
even-
absolutely go over every preschooler's head,
Not
and
even the
including
parents.
and also most of their parents.
Right. Yep. So, speaking of things that make you feel old, yesterday was the 40th anniversary of the release of the original Super Mario Brothers.
Also, Trouble with Tribbles is now as old as TOS was when Trials and Tribulations is now as old as Trouble with Tribbles was when Trials and Tribulations came out.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this weekend was a 30th anniversary Toy Story release in theaters as well. So
Anyway, so
we're all old now.
Are you gonna get the Mario Galaxy 2 remake, Chrissy?
probably not.
It's $40, which seems absurd.
Yeah, and I didn't finish Galaxy 1, and I think I bought, I have to go back and look, but I think I bought when they re-released it, Galaxy 1 and 2 for the Switch.
No, the 2 has never been released for the Switch.
Oh, that's right. That was Sunshine and
yeah,
anyway.
I bought the Mario
That one I
All-Stars
did buy,
whatever thing that there was a limited time, like it's not even available anymore, but it was Mario 64, Sunshine, Galaxy, and I think one other
I think that was it.
That may have been it.
Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah, because I was thinking it was, yeah. I was annoyed that they aren't going to re-release the Paper Mario ones. I want to play my Paper Marios on the Switch.
Well, they did do Thousand Year Door.
Yeah, no, I know, but there's still 3 other ones that aren't
Yes,
available.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
and we got Mario RPG, which was the spiritual
Yes.
predecessor to Paper Mario. But yes, I agree. We do need more.
Yeah. Anyway, that's enough for old Nintendo hour. Anything else we have to say on this episode?
When they're syncing up the ships to make the phaser shot, they talk about how they're going at 1/4 impulse power, which seems really fast for trying to sync something up when in orbit.
I missed that. You would think thrusters in...
Because we talked about this in a previous episode.
We
I don't
did. That's
recall
very
how fast
fast.
it was, but we determined that impulse power is really fast.
1/4 impulse is 1/4 light speed. I'm pretty sure is because you use impulse up until light speed, and warp is everything beyond, because you can't go faster than light. At least that's how I vaguely remember reading something.
Full
about
impulse
that
is
somewhere.
1/4 light speed.
Oh, full impulse is 1/4. Okay, so then gotcha. So 1/4 impulse
is 1/16 light speed.
1/16,
Which is still
fast.
very fast.
Still very fast.
Yeah, so a 1/4 impulse or full impulse is 167 million miles per hour. So a 1/4 is 41.75 million miles per hour, which again seems really fast for trying to sync maneuvers up.
Yeah, no,
And just really fast in general when you're in orbit of a planet.
Yeah, you shouldn't be at impulse at all when you're in orbit.
No.
Well, regulations require thrusters only when leaving space dock.
Yeah. Right.
So I did have a note on that.
I just had to look it up because I was like, how fast are they moving to start with? Just being in orbit, right? And
also,
that's around 11,000 kilometers per hour. So yeah, that's not.
Also, I had the note when Kirk tells Spock, "This is one hell of a date."
Yes. Leave it to Kirk to put it in that context. Love it. Love it. This was good. It was a good season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't think it was overall quite as good as season 2. I think season 2 is the high point so far, but I think there were still some really good parts of this episode, and I think especially Terrarium really shines as a high point.
Yeah.
So does the Sailot Who Ate Its Tail.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Alex Perry said it best in his review. It's the season's highs were not as high as previous seasons, but the lows were also not as low, generally.
Unless you ask
maybe, yeah.
Wow. Don't ask the internet.
But I mean, like 4.5 Vulcans, I would put pretty far down at the bottom. It is pretty low, but is it lower than Amongst the Lotus Eaters, which I find totally unwatchable?
Among the Lotus Eaters. I know I'm the only one who does, but I do.
The baseline of the story there is fine. It's the sound mixing for me. As someone who has occasional ringing in their ears from years of loud music playing in bands and stuff, like I just can't watch it. It sucks. And then it's that, and then what's the other? There's another episode from season 1 that's pretty low on that list as well.
I mean, I hate Lift Us Where Suffering Cannot Reach, but not because it's bad, but because I don't like what it says.
Right.
It's a good episode. That's why it's hard to watch, and it's
Right. But anyway, I mean, like, yeah, I think a lot of it was above average. It wasn't perfect. It had a lot of flaws. There were a lot of choices that I was not crazy about, but it was still decent Star Trek for what it was. Did it scratch the itch after not having Star Trek for literal ever since Lower Decks finished up? Sure, yeah.
I mean,
it was good.
Technically, we had Star Trek after between when Lower Decks ended and this.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. You don't even have to say technically. There's not an ounce of DNA in that movie.
I mean, they showed scenes. They showed a couple scenes from it in that Star Trek trailer on Star Trek Day.
And when I saw that trailer, I literally was like, "Oh, what is this from?" And then I realized it was from Section 31, which no, nope.
Well, I suppose that was news too. Section 31 is going to HBO Max.
Good.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It can stay there. It can stay there. I don't want it. Keep it off Paramount Plus. Get that as far away from me as possible.
Man, I mean, I really don't like Section 31, but I feel like you feel even more strongly than I do.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be one thing if it was a good movie. It just isn't even a good movie. Like, it's a bad movie and it's a bad Star Trek movie. I'm like,
Okay.
I was like, I watched it to say I'm a completionist, and
I even bought it because I'm a completionist.
It's the only one. It's the only one I didn't buy. I still don't own it. I'm proud of you, though. Sticking to the cause.
I mean, I've never watched it since I bought it. I mean, I have never stuck the disc in the player.
Wrapping. Leave it in the shrink wrap.
Oh no, I always take them out of the shrink wrap before I put them on the shelf. But I have never stuck it in the Blu-ray player, and if I do, it will probably be years from now.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta wait until you've forgotten what it's about, and you get some friends over.
Here's what you do. You put it in the Blu-ray. You put it in there once. You rip it. And then you don't put it in there until Blu-ray is obsolete, and then you're like, "Oh dang, I can't watch this anymore anyway."
Oh,
well, no, it came. I think it came with a digital copy.
Because
it's a movie and not a TV show. It came with a digital copy code, so I actually do have a copy of it in iTunes.
Gotcha.
Excuse me. Yes. So, looking forward to season 4.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And looking forward to season 1 of Academy before that.
Yeah.
Yes. Very excited for that.
All right.
And like I said, we'll be back. In a couple months to talk about Star Trek Con, and then again after that, we'll be back to talk about Scouts when that finishes up.
Yep. And I haven't seen any of. I don't know what we're going to have to say about Scouts, but sure.
I don't know what we're going to have to say about Scouts, too, but we should do an episode.
Yes, we should.
Like I said, Caleb, you are on our extremely short list of, I think, just you, for people for Scouts. So
with
just
toddler-age children.
Yeah, be prepared.
All right.
All right, well, on that note, Caleb, thanks so much for joining us today. Where can our listeners find you online? And is there anything you want to plug?
Yeah, primarily just Blue Sky, at Rogue Mogue. That's ROGUEMOGH .bsky.social. That's where I'm at. I'm in an Enterprise rewatch right now. It's my first Enterprise rewatch, so I'm cataloging my thoughts as I go. And if there's anything I have to say early, it's that season 1 is a lot better than it gets credit for. So
I'll be interested to hear if you think the same thing about season 2.
No, I still think season 2, I very rememberably started strong. Those first 3 or 4 episodes were really good, and then it kind of dived off and then didn't come back to life until the back couple of episods. So,
yes, there are some gems in season 2, but yes,
there are. That's the beginning and the end. So
there's always something to be appreciated.
There's something. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, and I do like Dawn. Kushka to you, that's a guilty pleasure.
I like Regeneration. I know it's controversial, but I really liked it.
Regeneration's good too. Yeah. But yeah, we'll see. So follow me along there and
all right.
Chat Enterprise with me.
All right. And Thad, where can people find you when you're not
And I'm sorry, also Dead Stop I think is one of the best episodes of the show.
Oh yes, that's what I said. The first couple episodes of the season, it's like Dead Stop and Minefield and Stormfront, or not Stormfront, Shockwave, and Stormfront isn't. No, not Stormfront.
Stormfront is not season 2, but it's also not good.
No. Shockwave. Yeah, there you go. Got it.
Okay. You know what you meant. All right. Well, Thad, where can people find you when you're not showing up in a dress uniform to a casual party?
I mean, I would totally do that.
I know
but best place to find me, you can hear me on the podcast I do with my friend Carl called License to Spiel. That's license spelled with a C like the British do it. Where we started out talking about James Bond, ran out of that, did a few other topics, and are currently running through Columbo. You can catch all of my podcasts and active socials on my website. That's tyrannicus.net, tyranicus.net. Chrissy, where can people find you when you're not fulfilling your fantasies of outranking your husband?
Oh, maybe
Hang
someday.
Jason.
Maybe someday I'll have tenure and he won't. So both of us just slogging along as adjuncts. Yes. Right. In addition to here on Infinite Diversity, you can find both of us on History with the Szilagyi here on the BQN, that twice weekly, getting back to it, I swear, short history podcast I do with Jay. And I'm also happy to chat about our shows on the BQN Collective on Facebook, and I'm on the various socials as the Goddess Livia. That's TheGoddessLivia, where you can see my opinions about Star Trek history and leftist politics.
Don't forget all our other great shows on BQN. Here's a recording of Amy to tell you all
Calling
about
all audiophiles and Trekkies. Prepare to boldly go where no podcast listener has gone before with the diverse soundscapes of BQN. We're not just a network, we're a universe of exploration, entertainment, and deep dives into the topics you love. Here's your star map to the sonic adventures awaiting you. Charting the Star Trek cosmos, we have all good things. Embark on a comprehensive journey through the entire Star Trek universe with insightful crew of Amy, Christos, Kelvin, and Kristen. From classic to current, they cover it all. Galaxy Class, Engage. Stephen and Stefan pilots this deep space mission, meticulously covering all aspects of Star Trek The Next Generation. Infinite Diversity. Stay current with the newest Star Trek frontiers alongside Chrissie and Thad. Union Federation. Whether your allegiances lies with Starfleet or the Planetary Union, Kyle, Kevin, Amy, and Haley offer a unified front discussing both current Star Trek and the truly Trek at heart, the Orville. Crack open that book with Peter and the Trek Book Club podcast. Delve into the rich tapestry of Star Trek's beta canon. What's the T-Bab? Christos spills the latest Trek news and fandom insights with an essential LGBTQIA+ Plus perspective, complete with engaging guest interviews. Our visual voyages that you can find on YouTube as well as a podcast are Trexperts Quiz. Think you're a Starfleet Academy graduate? Test your knowledge with Davey and MC's challenging Star Trek quiz show. And the View Screen. Tune in live on Sundays for your dose of Trek-inspired talk show. Kelvin and Amy host new 8-week seasons each spring and fall. Beyond the Final Frontier, we have Bargain Bin Gamer. Davey and Mitch, your self-proclaimed gamer guides, lead you to digital treasures, unearthing and reviewing the most affordable video game gems. Cinema Z. Grab your metaphorical popcorn for Mark and Matt's cinematic deep dives, unearthing overlooked films that demand your attention. History with the Szilagyi. In order to never repeat it, tune in as Chrissie and Jason deliver bite-sized snippets of historical events from around the globe. And Transformational Journeys. Lex Rosa explores what it means to embrace authenticity in the face of societal expectations. To unlock deeper levels of engagement, try our patron perks. The Hive Mind is where you can join our random script readings, live reaction shows, and roundtable discussions. And check out our back catalog of It's Green, a verdant cornucopia of topics offering diverse and engaging conversations, and Amy's Math Moments. Discover the subtle and not so subtle mathematical wonders woven into the fabric of Star Trek. You can stay connected to our ever-expanding galaxy of content by following at BQN Podcasts on Instagram, Blue Sky, YouTube, and Discord. We appreciate you choosing BQN to fill your auditory needs. Thank you for listening. Assimilate the audio.
And thank you so much for tuning into Infant Diversity. Thank you to Zach Tripp for the wonderful theme music and Mark White for the awesome show art. Please subscribe in your favorite podcast player and don't forget to rate and review us there as well.
If you want to reach out, you can find the network on the socials at BQN Podcasts, or our show specifically at IDIC Podcast. You can also talk about any and all of the BQN podcasts in our Facebook group, the BQN Collective, or join our Discord server. When you next hear from us, we'll be talking about the Con Podcast. Until then, peace and long life.